Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 151 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have our players here today. Same as always, we have Kyle, Matt, Katie, Josh, and Greg. I think I'll go ahead and give us a quick recap, but first I wanted to say a happy Yom Kippur to everyone. Yom Kippur is probably one of the more holy of Jewish holidays, and it is a time of looking inwards and introspection and going over one's year and considering what you have done, considering your place in the world and how you are perceived and how you perceive yourself and how you may be perceived by a deity that you may worship. This is a time for a topic in a lot of religions, repentance. This is a time for you to sit with your own thoughts for a while and decide what you would like to improve, what you could do better, and what you would like to work to improve, things in your life that you wish to either to God or to the community at large, humanity, apologize for and grow from. So that's what today is. And if you celebrate, I hope you are finding the peace and connection you are seeking. Anywho, we're going to get in
We won't
our
find any at this
debauchery
party.
party. I was about to say,
None.
time for the debauchery party. Anywho,
Woo!
uh, anywho, let me go to this nightmare party where I will have to do a Yom Kippur next year to,
Mm.
to repent for all of it. But that's fine. Let's jump into the recap. Uh, all of you are at the party. You all have arrived in your beautiful outfits with your beautiful dates, or the people that were kind enough to let you come with them, or the people that want you there to fight for them, or the people that you actually made a genuine connection with and might be friends with. Either way, all of you made it here, looking gorgeous. And everybody in this place is of the same standard. Everybody is at their peak in a condensed version of themselves. A lot of people here you can look at and be like, I understand who that person is. There's a person wearing an outfit and it is a snippet of who they are as a person in some facet. And that can be seen across the many people that are here walking around this kind of circular courtyard where there is art, which it consists of living people sitting in poses nudely, as it were, and either being just, it seems there's a lot of lounging positions, a lot of scarves hanging from trees that people lounge in like hammocks. There's also more sexual or strange positionings, but there is no like active anything. It is almost like they are statues. They are moments in time. There is not active movement to any of it. Just people stuck in space and time at this party while the rich and elite move around them at ease. During this time, Fen finds Corrine, who is having a conversation with Marcher, and she asks Fen to remove his ring of calm emotions because she wanted him to have the full spectrum of his emotions for a moment, and brought him over to his grandmother, who she had invited to the party after Fen had spoken about her a few days ago. And currently, she is on the arm of a very young, very beautiful elven man and seems to be having a good time. She only has a 1 day ticket to this event, but seems happy to be here and seems very happy to see Fen. And currently, no issues. You could see everyone a little tense in the shoulders, but grandma's fine, as she is fed cake by a very attractive young man. Uh, Also, Russ encounters a bunch of people he 100% had sex with, and and tries to be super casual about it. And during this is also encountered for his first duel. And lucky for him, he comes out victorious, as it seems he has never lost a duel. And you learn that when he is challenged to the death, he insists that it be for trophy. His challenger agreed, and after Russ completed this combat, he removed the ear of his combatant and then burned it away on the magical shield protecting the arena. And it seems still, at least in the eyes of the party, the pros outweighing the cons because what a great young guy. What a great guy. At least he's not killing people. Um, so we take our small victories. Last time you also got introduced to Calendula, who saw you speaking as a group, kind of standing out for a moment, presenting to him as some people who'd never been to this party before. Calls you over, is happy to have a conversation and be a person you can go to ask questions about the party or if there's anything you may be confused about. Um, Currently wearing like a beautiful, like it almost looks like an ornate rug of an outfit. It's just beautiful colors of foliage all across and a deep V where you can see that from the chest there are like little leaf tattoos and a surgical scar, pink little surgical scar right under the pecs. And seems like just happy to help and lounge with his party of people that are pretending to be his mask, people that sit next to him, and when they are not actively being his mask, just seem to lounge and be attractive, or just lounge, whatever you're vibing. But Calendula also tells you the theme of the party, that the theme of the party is sorrow. It is watching people actively in a state of suffering, most likely the lower classes. Seeing these people stuck in time in all these places, the sound of the wailing music that echoes through the courtyard. And besides the aspect of sorrow, it is the idea that everyone here is presented with this. These people who are struggling, and to look that in the face and fully understand you are not going to do anything about it. That these people sit here at their most bare and you will go back to the exact same life that you led yesterday. And also, what an informative guy. Also tells you about the woman circling the dueling grounds. Her name, she's called the Widow, and it seems each year they hire an actual widow to pace the dueling grounds. As Calendula said, originally Corrine had hired an actor to fill this role, and it wasn't authentic enough. It didn't feel right. So they had to get actual widows to walk the dueling ground.
Store bought was not
Uh,
fine.
no, 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 no. Off-brand widow wasn't working here at this party. But she walks silently, seeming unendingly during this party. Uh, you encounter many beautiful and interesting people, including a goblin woman who is Queen Thruly, who Roshan encounters. One of the many matriarchs of the Underdark, and she seems to just be here to have a good time. Her and the other women that she came here with. Uh, all of you, after the conversation with Calendula, split up again, going off to continue as you were during this party. Fen, Roshan, and Keld, you enter into the dancing hall, which is bisected by a fountain that is also a an ice fixture. It is a long wall of ice that goes through the center of the room, and as you listen to the terrible, painful sounds of the singer in this space, which people try to dance to, and the musicians try to play music with, Keld encounters a pale, gaunt woman, completely nude, black hair covering her chest, who seems to walk in tandem with Keld on the opposite side of the ice. The only way to get to each other is to walk to the end. And they walk, and they pass a pillar, and they walk, and they pass a pillar. And as they get to the end, she does not pass the last pillar, and Keld runs to the other side and sees she is no longer there. The only evidence of her existence being some water on the floor. And Keld, after you stand there for a moment, taking in the space, um, you can see that the fountain does occasionally splash.
Mhm.
that it is not out of the ordinary for there to be water on the floor in this scenario. Um,
Fountain sliding.
you telling me. Uh, but I think that is where I would like to start is with the trifecta in this room, where the music has now turned to a more casual instrumental, as the singer is now sitting in the wooden chair beneath these large jagged icicles that dangle above him. And just to be clear, if one of these happened to fall, as these beautiful women sitting next to it, suspended by little scarves, as they hit it with little hammers, if this fell, it would 100% kill this man. These are huge icicles, and from that height, it's over. And he sits there expectantly, trying to just catch his breath. It seems like as he just sits in this chair while the musicians are like, and now we can have a beat and a rhythm and very cool. More people you see come in to dance at this point. Uh, some people were trying to dance to this beautiful rendition of condensed sadness, but now that the music has turned to something more average, people are now joining in dance. Is there anything from team dance room? Is there anything that you wanted to do in this space as people begin to dance and there's conversations happening, kind of hushed tones as people move around each other?
Just curious, does depression count as a curse in this game?
Raise his hand. I think I'm cursed, guys. Nope, that's
Maybe I could
just
help that guy.
hey, remove curse. You good?
You're
Um,
good.
so depression wouldn't count as a curse, but there's probably curses that could cause it or at least
Mhm.
lead to it,
Spooky.
depending. Uh, Anything special from y'all, or are you just vibing?
I'd like to catch any good outfits that are in the room.
Oh, what a coincidence. That's not the page I'm on. Roshan, go ahead and give me a perception check to find the best fits in the room.
That's like a 25, 26.
Oh, you catch him immediately. The best fits of the room.
Sees
You
himself in the mirror. There it is.
looks into like the ice, like, oh, perfect. It was me all along. Um, one of the first one that catches your attention as your eyes move over the large ice structure in the center of the room is a woman who is wearing a very I'm like plungy, has a plunging neckline on a light blue dress that is wavy and asymmetrical at the bottom. And as you kind of look at it for a moment, you can see that the bottom moves like a calm ocean, the whole dress slowly in motion. And you swear as she walks by, like there's the smell of like the sea, ocean air, something fresh and breezy. And as she walks by giggling, you can see at the back of the dress by the bottom, it almost looks like the crashed waves, a bit of like foam forming and then dissipating and then forming and dissipating. Um, you also see that she goes over to meet another woman who is wearing a dress completely made of sunflowers. That this outfit is just sunflowers in different forms of their life, from bud to fully bloomed to losing their petals, and just is fully covered in this. And you see, has to walk. There's almost more of like a bounce to the steps instead of like long striding steps. It seems to be a very fragile outfit. Um, and over in the averager category, there are the people who are wearing outfits where magic is obviously involved. And then there are outfits where people are just like, this is a nice outfit. I just wanted to wear a very nice outfit, and that's what I'm going to do. Um, you can see that there is a woman wearing a completely sheer dress that has gray fringe at the ends that sort of move and shake as she walks. Um, Not much is covered in that one. The sheer body is not covering much of the outfit, but it seems a lot of people with very also swirly dresses or like long coattails are interested in being in this room so that they can dance and have their outfits move. So those are the ones that stand out to you at first.
Nice. I think that's all he's
Very
interested in. I don't know. None of them seem particularly good to talk to, but it's good people watching, so that's good enough.
Mm-hmm. Um, anything else from this team? Just a casual room for fun dancing.
Yeah, I think Fenn was intending to like keep his eyes and ears open, but he's like transfixed by uh ice stalactites and the possibility that someone might be impaled, and
Mm-hmm.
he's just like watching very nervously, like unsure if he's supposed to do something here. Does he have a moral obligation to act? And he's just it's like not
Hey,
very comfortable with this situation, and he's waiting for any of his
I feel that.
compatriots to like walk away so he can like not feel bad about going with them.
Oh,
you're just waiting for somebody to leave the room. You're like, come on.
let's get out of here.
Do I go pick up that chair and drag him away, or can we leave? What's the vibe? Um,
Does it
um,
look like does the stage look open and welcome for people to just, hop on up there, or is it more of a performers only sort of vibe?
hey, Kel, give me an insight check.
I would love.
Insight this
Let
situation for
me
me.
insight this. Um, okay.
So you were able to fully understand that you don't see any party guests, to the best of your knowledge, up on this platform. And it is very much a platform where you could, in one step onto the stage. Like it is not
Kind of
separate.
low.
Yeah, it's a pretty low stage. There has to be room for the icicles to fall and murder this man.
Mm.
She didn't have the stage too high. But on the stage, there are musicians. There are the women near the icicles, and then there's the man in the chair. People are stopping and like watching and listening and observing and talking to each other. Nobody has stepped onto this platform, this stage. You don't know if it's illegal. Is anything illegal here? Unclear. But nobody else is currently doing that. But people are standing near it.
Think he's gonna like see if there's like anybody dancing that looks like join them, not like dancing separately.
Are you
Is there like a place I can shimmy in?
Cal? I'd love another insight check.
Let me shimmy in. Ooh, that
Came here to
one.
party? Ooh, ooh,
Oh no.
baby. Ooh,
Keld is used
baby.
to the trees and the forest and the hermiting.
Just
This
go
This
is
is
wherever you
Cal.
different.
want.
Kel loves a party. Let's not get this twisted.
Uh,
But there's a
Right.
difference between this party and any party he's ever been to.
That
Um,
seems
big
accurate.
yikes.
Sorry, 1 second. I want the perfect dance partner for you.
Okay.
Um,
Uh-oh. Is
you
it the
deserve
old
it.
grandma? Is it the old grandma?
Oh God, I wish it was now.
No.
Oh
No.
Well, Toad would know who that is immediately and be
That's
like, and I
true.
don't dance there.
Okay.
Unless
I
that was
might take
his
Kyle's
vibe.
advice from the chat.
I was Lucas. Well, the loud scrape of a chair being moved and everyone looking at you. Uh,
It's like, what?
uh,
There's a line of fire potential there.
And
Like,
it's
this is
just
an
like,
OSHA thing.
yeah,
That's what this
did it,
party's
guys.
for.
Everybody relax. I fixed the problem. Um, but Keld, you scan the room and you're like, whose energy is inviting me
mhm.
inwards to participate and interact with them in
Boost.
particular? you see two figures who seem to be talking to each other. One of them kind of swaying and has a bit of like like a movement to the body. The other one not so much. And you're like, you know what they need? They need somebody to go dance with them in particular because that one is trying to dance and that one isn't. So you begin to make your way over to two figures. One of them tall and slender, the other one shorter and bulkier. Um, one of them looks like a human woman with rosy skin, light brown hair in braids that had to have taken hours and hours and hours. You notice there are a lot of braids at this party. A lot of people showing status through braids, showing um, depending on what is sewn into them, kind of just an extension of the outfit that they are wearing. Um, she has bright blue eyes, tall, slender, very feminine, long purple dress with gray accents. She has a beaded collar, like a white necklace, and there is a purple gem in the center. She is wearing rings on her fingers of light metal to sort of match the kind of light grays of her dress. And she is wearing a deep gray mask that's very simple, hooks past the ears and almost looks like the wind, as if the wind is swept past her on the side of this mask. She is standing next to a dwarf who seems to be taller than average, a taller than average dwarf, tan skin, long dark brown hair tied at the bottom, um, brown eyes with it looks like subtle brown makeup instead of a harsh black eyeliner or something more eye catching. Solid sideburns, wearing a purple jumpsuit with a deep V so that you can see the collection of chest hair. And also, it's cleavage and chest hair is the vibe of this scenario. Um, they are wearing a mask of deep purple with a bright eye in the center, a purple gem as the pupil. Um, and that person looks directly at you, and the vague smile to the face immediately drops as you are looking at Gemma Clovekid, who is looking at you as if just a ghost had walked into this space. And you hear,
What?
"You gotta be fucking kidding me." As the other woman kind of like turns and looks in your direction. Um, it's too late to escape, Keld. Uh,
Hmm.
Gemma takes two steps and is already in your space, looking up at you. But this woman kind of joins in and steps sort of, they contrast each other in severity. One of
Hmm.
them appearing more harsh and solid, and the other one a bit more wispy and calm and collected. Uh, Gemma sort of narrows their eyes. Hey there. What brings you to this fancy little party?
Someone I know.
Lucky day.
Sips Coke.
She sips from a glass. Um, I would say at this point, based on the fact that Roshan is actively people watching and the fact that Fen is actively like watching you two to make sure when is anyone leaving, both of you
Mhm.
see this interaction start. That Clove Kid is currently in the building. So you're just here for fun? Did you just walk in the door?
Oh, that easy.
No, no, it's not. Um, anything from Roshan and Fen, or are you guys like, and then I picked a drink off the cart and was like, that's none of my business.
I think Fen would make his way over to Roshan, or close enough that he
Let's
doesn't
watch
have to
together.
speak loudly and be like, I thought there was supposed to be criminals here. What is a
Hmm.
town guard captain doing at an event like this?
They're usually the most corrupt ones.
Nothing else to add.
Mm,
Just an observation about.
uh, yeah.
Um,
Um, mhm.
I think Roshan will use his telepathy to speak to Keld and just say, scratch the back of your head if you need help getting out of this. And then we'll take a sip from a drink and just watch from afar.
This is fine. We can just never interact again. I think might be the best option. And the taller woman sort of steps forward a bit, sort of taking a forward kind of position in the conversation. And she looks to you and smiles. Her mouth does not move. And as she begins to talk to you, she begins to move her hands in communication. And you don't understand this language. And you see that Clove Kid sort of goes neutral. Hello, how are you? You can call me Ears.
Meet you, ears.
And she does a bit of a bow and kind of pulls the dress a little bit. This is Ears, Kellen's daughter. Uh, she is shockingly, shock and awe, um, the ears of the chief. And also maybe through nepotism, because as you can tell by the last name is the child of the chief. And there's sort of a soft, sort of like breathy sound, almost like a giggle, and then just like a gentle press to Clove Kid's shoulder. So, is there a particular reason you're hanging out with this type of crowd? Because it looks kind of bad back to back with at least our encounters.
It'd probably take a long time to explain everything. Probably not the easiest place to give. I honestly just came over here to dance, but
Well, Ears, if you are interested in dancing with somebody who allowed a cultist and a murderer to escape town and go on the lam, by all means, feel free to dance. I will not be translating. That you're on your own if you want to dance. Um, and she like looks to you. And you take Ears, Kellen's daughter's hand, and the two of you begin to dance as Clove Kid immediately goes over to a tray and like scoops up between two fingers 2 drinks right by the stem, and is going to start drinking as you begin to have a nice little dance, which is what you came over here for. Um,
I'm for any of that.
I think Roshan might replace Keld there and just slide in next to Clove Kid and uh, without any preface, just say, and why are you here?
Mid drink does not stop, goes until the first is complete, and then sets it on another passing tray. I Nice to see you too. I am, as you know, the eyes of the chief. I am asked to see everything. Ears hear everything. So that's why, after a long, painstaking process, we have been given access to this space. It is a way to be on the pulse, as it were. Have you been having fun with your cultist friend?
Um, Fun? No. Every time I see those damn sideways pitchforks next to each other, I cringe. And I hope that mass murder isn't lurking around the corner.
Yeah, it would be great if I had a murderer and a cultist in custody so that I could interrogate, communicate with, but not the case. Because I would love to see every one of those fucking symbols in the dirt, burning, up in flames.
Roshan will lift a drink to that.
She does not return the lifting of a drink. I will, but
Then
Is Sven
Roshan
close enough
drinks
to
without
overhear
it.
this interaction?
did you follow? Because you guys were like you were at a little bit of a distance.
I think Fen is probably sticking close to Roshan, but he probably wouldn't have. I mean, Clove Kid's not his favorite, so probably not right there, but close enough to keep tabs on his friend.
Yeah,
So,
up to
all
you.
right.
They're not whispering.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of their conversation goes. That's fine. Fen's
Sure.
nearby.
And why are you here? Questions. I was told it's a very long conversation and we can't have it right now, which, aren't all of them. And then she watches Keld
Unfortunately.
and Ears kind of spin by.
We're here to seek out some help for personal matters as well as for cult matters.
Oh, well, now you want help.
We want help that is a.
That bitch killed you. And I said I wanted to take her into custody. I needed help. My chief, he's lost his fucking mind, and I'm doing my damnedest to get this cult out of my town. I wanted to help. And now she's off. Colton, killing, fuck if I know. A mystery.
I'm sorry we weren't able to help you bring her in.
Go fuck yourself.
Roshan will just raise a drink to that and outside of the fringe and then pull it inside to take a drink.
Um,
I think Fen would probably bristle a little bit at that. Uh, if he heard a piercing "go fuck yourself" towards Roshan, um, make his way, close the distance, and just give Clove Kid a for what is left of your town. You can thank this man right here. He's not an enemy to you or your people. And I think you owe him an apology for that comment and a thank you for what he did to stop the damage the cult did that could have been much worse.
I think you best exit this conversation.
I've got nothing else to say to you anyways.
Bye. And continues on now in pursuit of another tray. You can see looking over Ears is like actively like trying to be engaged with you, at least like eye to eye, but is also like watching and then like looks at you, Keld, and kind of does like a bit of like a I'm sorry sort of shrug, but not like in a I'm seeking you to like understand or accept this apology, but just that this is what this is right now. You're muted.
He'll just shrugs in turn, like not quite sure. To start with that either.
Uh, she looks to you and kind of like points to her own head and like points to yours, kind of like a, do you do that?
Shakes his head.
She shrugs again. And after the song ends, takes a step back and gives you a little curtsy. Uh, and as she walks by, Fen and Roshan, she gives like very like acknowledging like bit of a bow and curtsy and does like a hello and kind of makes her way past both of you in the direction of Clove Kid.
Uh, Roshan will give her a nod and say, "Pleasure to meet you," without opening his mouth.
Can this be responded to?
No, it cannot.
She stops and looks at you and realizes you aren't responding to her mental response. And it's like,
If that's the case, then Roshan will cast Detect Thoughts.
oh, okie dokie. Um, um, she looks at you and is acknowledging you are casting a spell. Kind of gives like an inquisitive, like raise of the eyebrow.
Um, and then once Roshan is done casting it, um, he says, "Sorry, it's easier to talk and have myself be heard than it is to listen."
Oh. So you do detect thoughts, which is going to be a an interesting one. A lot of vibes. What you are able to pick up on surface thoughts, unless you are trying to press past surface thoughts.
Uh, no, just
Okay.
surface thoughts for now.
What you're picking up on is she knew who you were. You were not like a mystery person to her. Clove Kid has spoken about you, and it seems to be a touchy subject. The fact that Clove Kid and it seems in her mind herself were so close to getting Gunhild, somebody that they could use as evidence for their chief so that they could actively go against the cult as a group, having allies, having people who had seen it. It hit Clove Kid hard to fully lose Gunhild. Clove Kid seems to be in a rough spot because of that. And she just kind of looks at you with like a bit of a shrug, and it's like, if only it could have been different, but it wasn't.
Uh, Roshan will say the same back and say, "I hope that even though our goals, not our goals, but uh, that things didn't line up in the best way that they could, that uh, he's still happy that they're on the same side for this."
The thought process is in the affirmative, in agreement, but there seems to be some distance. You could have us and all of our resources as an ally if we get Gunhild. If you know anything about that, we'd be appreciative.
Uh, I'll keep that in mind.
Enjoy your party. Maybe I can convince somebody to get to their sixth drink and relax. And she does a bit of a bow.
Uh, I think there's a little bit of mental laughter and just say "relax" with a question mark. Incredulous that Clove Kid relaxes. Who knows? I don't know. That sounds fake, but we'll see.
Clove Kid's a good person. The circumstances make us into the worst version of ourselves, no matter how good or bad that may be. Here's hoping to brighter days. And kind of gives you an acknowledgement and goes over to Clove Kid, and you see when she approaches, begins speaking in sign again. And Clove Kid responds verbally and with sign. So it becomes a bit of a conversation between them. You can see the clench of Clove Kid's jaw and just like the touch on the shoulder from ears, trying to kind of unbristle the situation to, hey, everything's calm here. Uh, and they seem to go into their space and do that. Boy, howdy, do people murmur. You can see that that wasn't the most quiet or subdued of interactions. And most of you were seen encountering with that. So that's just something to note.
Hmm, Party good.
Nice.
Guys, it's night
Um,
one of three.
guys, that's fine. And you hear a gentle thump, 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 thump. And you hear that the rest of the music is stopped. And one musician, thump, 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 one string, a rhythmic note. And you watch as the singer's body tenses and then relaxes. And the tiniest little smile at the corner of the mouth as he pulls himself up to his feet and makes his way over to the glowing orb in the center that amplifies his voice all over the courtyard. And this time, instead of wails and clicks and sounds of sadness and sorrow and pain, he begins to sing a song, and his voice is beautiful. It is a beautiful, still somber, but angelic voice that murmurs softly into the mic and fills the space now with a song that people could sway to. Uh, and people seem responsive to that. Are the three of you staying in this space, or are you moving onwards? As you can see people looking over at the musician and like murmuring to each other. There is like a between a few people, there's a giddiness looking at this singer.
I think Roshan will tell the other two that's a man by the name of Alder Tiding, an old bard. Between you and I think he was looking for a way to end his life a long time ago and doesn't seem to have found the right way yet. That or he's just egging on death at this point.
You're familiar with him.
Seems there's a lot
Um,
more useful ways one could give their life.
well, perhaps, but I wouldn't say he's all right. Um, he's famous for his voice, but has never been, uh, well, at least from what I know of him, the most stable.
Something any of us could do to help him?
Dislodge the icicle. I think Roshan just kind of nods and keeps watching.
Mm.
I mean, Roshan, first of all, don't listen to that person. They didn't kill any of those monsters. You did. You did more for that person's town than they have. Don't take their insults. But also, I can't stay here and watch this. I'm gonna go see if I can find Nana and Nyx and see what else there is to see. Reach out if you need me.
Enjoy the party.
All right. And Fen is off. Um, Keld and Roshan, are you staying in here to listen, dance, or are you heading on to a new room?
I think
I think
Kelvin.
Roshan would stay for a while.
Okay. You vibing, Keld, or he?
Yeah, probably a little.
Okay. You two take a moment to listen to actual lyrics this time, and the sound is very somber, but the lyrics seem more upbeat. Seems to be at least the energy of this song that you're listening to. As Fen makes his way out, Nana, you have entered following after Tanrai's daughter into the food and drinks area, which seems to be a popular spot.
That
Um,
makes sense, of course.
uh,
It's a party.
there
Everybody wants
are
that.
banquet tables of nearly any type of food you can imagine. There are piles of fruit and there are like steaming meats, and it is gluttony at its finest. It is as if you saw a painting of a like this is a banquet table. This is a banquet table. It is beautiful beyond compare. The smell in
Wow.
here is amazing. And there are drinks to be had, and you can see that Tan Rye's daughter is off grabbing one of those drinks.
Okay. Um, so long as Tan seems like she's vibing and drinking and not actively insulting anybody else, Nana will grab herself a drink, maybe some finger food, and sort of take in the tent, see if anybody stands out as particularly noteworthy, um, to see who's here.
As you go and grab your drink, and you have like a little plate with you,
Little canapes.
and just some beautiful snackies. Um,
Mm.
Tan is immediately next to you, but like looking forward, like not looking at you,
Okay.
as she holds the drink and brings it up to her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
We should duel someone. Our reputation has been trashed. And I know you're here for some reason because I'm not paying you to be here. So if you'd like to fix that, we need to find somebody to fight.
All right. What is your recommendation, and what would you recommend for spoils?
I don't need to the death. Unnecessary. Um,
I feel so.
uh, Honestly, as long as you're seen knocking somebody out, I feel like it equals the apology I had to do. So
All right.
I think you spend today looking for somebody of interest. We don't want to be punching down. So we're not going to just find some, rich guy with flabby arms and just go beat the shit out of him.
Right.
Because that gets us nothing. But if you can find somebody who has a second, or somebody who is actively in armor or has a weapon on them, those people are fair game. So just
Hmm.
start looking around, and tomorrow we'll make a move.
All right. I'll reconnoiter with you in a certain amount of time tonight. Would you like me to stay close by, or should I make the rounds?
I'll be fine. I'll yell if I need you.
Right. Okay. I'll be sure to find you again within an hour or two.
Yeah. See if anybody stands out to you.
Hmm.
I've only been here once before, so I don't have the wealth of knowledge, but I'll keep an eye out.
I will as well, and if I happen across anyone who seems willing to share information, who seems to have more experience, more parties under their belt, I'll definitely, I'll see what they know.
All right. So, depending on how this goes, if it's somebody with a second, I'll challenge them. And if not, you will have to challenge them directly. So, we'll figure it out when we get there.
All right. Solid plan. I will keep my eyes on a swivel, and I'll let you know what I find.
Sounds good. I gotta eat something. And makes her way over to the buffet table.
Try the gray stuff. It's delicious.
I'm colorblind, she says as she walks by.
I'd never have guessed.
Bye.
Oh well. Well,
uh,
in that case, Nana, I guess, starts looking over the party guests with an eye to the specifications Tan has laid out.
Go ahead and give me an insight check. This is
Alrighty.
for vibes. All checks at this party are vibe centric.
That totally vibes. As it is a party of vibes. Pretty nice. That is a 19.
19. Um, I mean, first off, you've ran into a couple people that are probably dual centric or somebody who could be dueled. The bit of a chill runs down the spine as you remember Torment is
Torment?
full armored and has a weapon on their person. What
Yeah?
an honor that would be for your family to take down Torment in combat. But you also take into like you think of the beauty of it, but also that this guy has been fighting since before you were alive. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
things to
And,
ponder, but
based on what I heard about him, he did not worry too much about the moral implications of what he did during his fighting. So that seems, I don't know, he might hold himself back in a dueling situation. Maybe not. I don't know.
especially if you start a duel, you usually
Right.
get to set the parameters. So you could be like, "You can't, don't kill me. Don't do that though." But if you lose, you and Tan also take another hit to your status.
Which is not
Um,
great.
there is also, you love to see him. There's Russ. Russ is
Oh no!
actively a combatant.
He
You know
is.
is here to fight.
He
But once again,
is.
the same thing applies. He
Yeah.
probably won't try to fight you to the death, but
No.
also he is very good at what he does. So
He is.
that's your pros cons on Russ.
Also, he's my
Um,
friend Nix's husband.
Nix, can I fight your husband for status? I'm just asking. I'm asking as a friend.
I'm just
Um,
asking as a friend.
your eyes catch on to a woman wearing like a fitted jacket, and it has like a bit of a puff sleeve and like a puffier like short pant, almost kind of shaped like a bit like a pumpkin, with high socks. And she has a rapier at her side and is walking with intent up to a man who is dressed very similarly. A man just wearing a different type of gem tone, her greens, his reds, him with a rapier at the side. And they look to each other and just this look of longing and this beautiful love and respect towards each other. My dear wife, I shall see you in the circle. My dear husband, I will see you to the circle. Until one of us falls, then. Until one of us falls, then. And you watch as they walk hand in hand over to the dueling circle, and you see
Battle
some
spouses,
people
battle spouses.
are like, "Oh, awesome!" And people begin making their way over
Wow.
as the as the woman, the widow, circling the dueling circles, steps back and allows them to go about their business. As both of them, no preparation, none of the like, and I cast a spell on myself, and I do this and that. Just both of them straight to the center, They go to meet in the middle. He kisses her hand.
Ooh.
Rapier's out. And it is immediately bloodshed as the two of them just
Oh
go at
shit.
each other. It is there is no holding back in this scenario, and you see none of them are wearing like obvious armor.
Huh.
It is just to unconsciousness. Here we go. Yes, Nana.
Does this give the vibes of an anniversary? Does this give the vibes of a reenactment of a first meeting, like a meet cute kind of thing, and they just do this every year?
You get the vibe that this happens every year.
Okay.
Whatever the reasoning may be, this happens every year. You're pretty
All
sure
right.
of that.
Okay. Okay.
The way people gather around, it's almost more like they're going to see the art at this point. Like, this is
Ah,
not the same
it's
energy as watching Russ. It's like, oh,
this
bloodshed,
is one
very
of those
cool.
things that happens every year.
This is the yearly thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and they begin to fight. I would like Katie and Joshua. Uh, Katie, could you roll me a d20? Joshua, could you roll me a d20?
Ooh. Pulling those rolls.
What do we got?
12.
7.
All right.
Ooh.
Another time, please. Roll the dice. As this fight takes place, you see that the wife in this scenario begins overtaking.
9.
18.
Oh shit! The wife is here to
And
win.
and just as it started, you watch this man, bleeding and cut, same as she is run through.
Oh.
And she withdraws the rapier, watches him fall, and then resheathes her weapon and like waits for somebody to come help him. As she
Okay.
smiles at him, like, aw.
Aw, you're so
Uh,
cute when you're bleeding out.
and you watch one of the side people that you watched help Russ and Raw come over and begin to heal him. And as he stumbles to his feet, um, he takes her hand in like his like shaking now very pale hand and gives it a kiss.
Oh.
Wonderfully, wonderfully well done, my beautiful wife. You took it expertly, my gorgeous husband. And they seem very content with what they got going on. Uh,
If it's consenting and nominally sane, we're golden.
perfectly sane? No, but sane
Notionally?
enough. But
Yeah.
as they begin to take place, and you see like as he's being healed, she's like brushing his hair out of his face, and
It's very tender.
like she didn't just consent
Just
to a duel with him and run him through. But both seem to be doing better, whether from winning or healing magic. And we are going to head over to Nyx and Russ, who are finishing their rotation of walking around the courtyard area so that they can finish their howdy you do's. Um, Russ continues being very polite, but very like short and to the point, not really interested in conversation. A lot of people now being like, good job on the fight. Good to see you fight. Very excited to have watched. Blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, honestly, thank you, thanks. Like keeps moving, bows, hand kisses, handshakes, moving along, and you finally make it back to the starting point at the top of the circle. Ugh.
Do we have to do that every day or just today? 'Cause that was a lot.
We could probably get away with like just walking like half the circle to like the back on the next 2
Okay.
days instead of doing the full thing.
Good.
Do you need me to? Do you want me to literally sweep you off your feet, or are you good?
I, I'm not gonna say I'm good, but I'm not gonna say no.
Understood. And he goes ahead and you see he's gauging the situation of lifts. Like, no, maybe? Can I maintain? Like, it's going between them. And eventually goes with bridal carry. Um, and begins his walk in his heels back across the courtyard. Uh, and the people, as we have stated, they do murmur.
Mm.
People have opinions about every little thing that happens at this party, and this is one of them.
Let him.
um, so, food and drink, is that what you want to do first?
I think that was the plan. That's closest. That makes sense. That's how we
Makes
did the
sense to me.
circle.
Right. All right. We've got it. And he starts walking and kind of occasionally like leans over and gives you a bit of a kiss on the temple and is like, so last year they had like, what do you call it? They had like a whole like suckling pig, right? But it was like covered in like a layer of like candy or something, like hard sugar, and like somebody had to like tap it with these little hammers, and there was a whole presentation of it, and I just wanted to eat, and but it was a whole show and dance, so hopefully they figured out their show and dance so we can just eat something.
Yeah, maybe we've spent a long enough time. Whatever that is already done.
Yeah, that was an early fight. I usually don't happen that soon.
It was immediately almost.
It was I
We
was here what, 15 minutes tops?
yes,
Well,
he was ready,
fingers crossed. Um, he was. Well, he certainly thought he was ready.
ready to say that he was ready. Yeah.
Mm, emotionally ready.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, as you're walking, your passive perception does pick up on a young man having a conversation, and you can see that there is no ear on this visible side of this man you walk past. You see that he does acknowledge Russ, but just gives like a bit of a bow. And Russ returns just with the head because he is carrying a full person and begins to make his way forward before you feel Russ like stop.
I'll look around.
Uh, you're like looking at eye level, and then you see like you can't see anything that'd be catching his eye, and then your eyes go down, and Russ begins to set you back down onto the cobblestones, and you are looking at a little girl who is has brown hair in a nice little braid, very simple, wearing a peach colored dress with little bedazzles at the bottom. And she is currently talking to one of the servers with a tray that looks like it has some sort of hors d'oeuvre on it. And that person is kind of like looking down towards her. And Russ kind of stops. Hey there, Riley. Are you having a good time? And this girl looks up. You think she's probably like 6. Hi, I was just looking for some food, Mr. Russ. That's all.
That's where we're
Right.
going.
That is a crazy coincidence, Riley. Would
Mm-hmm.
you like to walk with us and go get something to eat? Yes. And she gives a bow towards the person who has the tray. And she sort of like gets in step with the two of you. And you can see just like the lifting of little grabby hands. And you see Russ immediately is already like taking one of the little grabby hands.
I,
Uh,
I'll take the other one.
yeah. Both of you walk in tandem. Right. Well, Riley, right? This is my wife, Nix. Hello, Nix. I'm Riley Wright because I was born right on time.
That makes sense.
I didn't pick it.
Hmm.
As she walks, Russ sort of like leans over towards you. Um, Riley here was was born at one of these parties.
Oh.
So she has been given invitation to any future parties, though um, her mother was a fixture at this event. So the invitation only extends to Riley, but that means we get to hang out with Riley and get some food. Hopefully this year they didn't put the sugar on the pig. I didn't like that. Neither did I, Riley. As all of you walk into that space, that is where Fen, Nana, and Nyx are all going to come into full contact with each other. But on that note, we are going to take our break. Um, thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. You're going to take a 10-minute break, so go get a snack and a drink, and we will see you all in 10 minutes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 151 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took our 10-minute break. The party is partying and running into people that don't want to see them. You interact with Clove Kid and Ears. You originally interacted with Clove Kid after Roshan was murdered by Gunhild, and Clove Kid tried to uh, get on the same plane as you, recruit you, team up to take down Gunhild so that she could have a cultist to actually like interrogate and talk to and be like, look, Chief, she sucks. She just sucks. But things did not go that way. And it seems Clove Kid holds a bit of a grudge. Ears feels that grudge a bit, was not actively the person talking to you, but understands both sides of things and says, wishes it could be different. And also, if you bring me that bitch, you can have a teammate. And then goes about her business. Um, a beautiful, loving fight between a happy married couple takes place, and they duel, and wife comes out on top. Who knows what the score is currently, but that's at least 1 point wife. Um,
This is a
the
secondary happy married couple
Sure,
in addition. Or maybe it's the same one. Who knows?
yeah. This is a happy married couple. Best I can say in this moment. But after Tan also talks to Nana and says we need to fight somebody because our status is now fucked. So we gotta at least break even. So Nana is currently looking for someone to duel. All of the options she's currently thinking of bad. But like how bad though? Depends. Depends on your thinking. But also Russ and Nix run into Riley Wright, who is a young lady of the ripe age of 6, perfect for party going. And it seems because her mother gave birth to her at this party, she was born at the right time, and there go, always has an invitation. So she's here in her just very simple little peach dress and just wants to eat some food. And currently, Russ and Nix are escorting her to the food and drink area of the party. And that is where Nana, Fen, and Nix, Russ Riley combo, um, all run into each other. Is there the team's like, and we all make eye contact. So you're all like, oh, okay. Uh, what are we doing?
Oh.
Riley is fully going like Russ is like he has like full arm extension and is like
Uh-huh.
she's not gonna stop walking.
We
Nana will fall
Yeah,
into step with them. Because that's where the food is gonna be, presumably.
yeah.
Ben's kind of mumbling, like, what is the where did you find a child?
Oh,
right in front of us.
mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Fen,
Is she looking for a
Nana, uh, she is fully here by herself. Um, uh,
Oh,
Riley, this is Nana and Fen.
hello.
Riley is a party guest. Riley looks over. Hello, I came into this room to eat food.
I think that's a wise decision. There's supposed to be a lot of food here.
hello, Riley? I'm Fen. Fen's gonna like take a knee to be like down on her level, and he'll extend a hand for a handshake.
She like looks at the hand and acknowledges like I should, and then eyes travel up too high, and she starts like giving the horns a bit of a bunk. Like,
Oh, that's so cute.
Are you looking for a parent or uh?
oh no, my mom isn't invited, just me.
Okay.
Very high honor for you.
uh,
That's what they say.
Hmm.
Father, grandparent, anything? Who are you here with?
Nope. There's a person who sometimes follows me around, but they were too slow. I'm gonna eat some food, and
All
like
right,
continues the pulling of hands.
let's
Oh.
get you some
Okay.
food. That's fine. And Fenn's gonna like make it his job now to whenever there's naked people in the peripheries, he's gonna
Just
like
like jump in front
like
of cartwheels in front of a naked
put
person.
his cloak out like
What?
What's that over there?
Oh!
Riley just like fully
She's
walking,
just
like
like,
just like
she's
focused
on
on
a
the parchment, like I
mission.
can't risk this. I can't risk it. And she gets to the table, and Russ sort of like steps in. All right, so it looks like we have some sort of a beef situation here and a pork situation here. Here's some fruit. Ugh, understood. And there also, I'll skip over it, but there's vegetables on that end. Maybe you should at least eat like maybe one of them. But there's also cakes over there, and then it's like immediate pull.
Ah. Oh
As you are
boy.
brought over to the sweet section
You
of
shouldn't
the
have mentioned it.
buffet.
I'll be in charge of putting the plate together for her.
Ah.
She points at things,
Mm.
and you are currently like
Mm-hmm.
Jenga-ing a
Uh-huh.
tower of food, and you eventually see an older woman, probably 70s, dressed
Oh my god.
very simply, very similar to how a lot of the people carrying trays are dressed. Runs over. Really? You can't run off like that? Uh, uh,
Would you
uh,
like some water? Okay, I'll
that
get you
would be
some water.
nice.
I'll get you some
Just
water. Hold
something to
on.
drink.
Looks
Yes, of
like you
course.
probably use a good berry, honestly.
Uh, uh, Riley's just like has like is trying to hold her tray now, which is now
Oh.
just a horrible feat in and of itself as she's like holding it in front of her.
Ah.
And like
Oh no.
the can I hold it with one hand or do I like and she starts to like lean forward and the
Ah.
woman's like, Riley, manners. And she's like the narrow of eyes, just the anger deep inside this child that she can't just look at the mountain of cake and go like
Ah.
shark dive on top of it.
It's
But
every child's
eventually
dream.
is led over to a table where she can sit, and she sits up like up on her knees and begins to partake. And the woman looks over.
Mm.
Well, thank you, friends of Riley. I appreciate it. Riley's just eager to be running around.
She is willful and knows what she wants.
I want cake, she says, like through like a
Mm-hmm.
a stuffed mouth.
Mm-hmm.
No problem, Riley. You should probably have a water too, or maybe a milk. Um,
Mm-mm. Milk's
this
very
is gonna get
important.
harder every year until she's probably, oh gosh, at least until we're double digits.
Whew.
Oh. And she sort of
That's
sits in the chair next to Riley.
a tall order for you, my friend. Nana will kind of bring over a rounded like tray, like a couple couple meats, couple veg, and like a nice cup of water, and maybe a little something a little stronger for the minder as well. Um,
Mm,
not a huge glass thereof, but you know, a little something. Take the edge off.
mm. She drinks her water.
Mm-hmm.
I, I couldn't tell which way she went. I went to all the wrong rooms first.
Oh,
But that's fine because Riley's not going to run away anymore. And Riley's like, I'm not gonna run away. Mhm.
of course she's not. She
Seems like
very
there's
much will.
probably quite a lot of rooms that she doesn't probably need to see here.
Well, we usually stick to the courtyard, and we were going to go look at the fountain to go see it because it's very
Mm-hmm.
pretty and made of ice. And we thought that was very fun. And when we were going
Mm.
to go there, that's when she was no longer here. But I think we could
Ah.
eat, and then maybe we can just see the fountain, and then we walk around. And once you're tired, Riley, we pack up for the night.
Mm.
Did she see the fights?
She has seen them before. Nothing of the irreversible variety.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but she has seen, but also she is quite small and usually is not the first person there, so she does not normally have a good view. Um,
Oh, thank goodness.
It's for the best. Uh,
uh, I do what I
how is
can.
it? How is it that you come to be doing what you can for Riley? Are you a relative of hers or?
Oh no, I'm employed by the house.
Right.
Riley, what's your favorite part of these parties?
Just like it is a messy
Face
mouth of cake,
smeared in
and you see
chocolate.
just like a hand, sort of like almost like a cane from off stage, goes and just like starts wiping as the woman starts to try to clean Riley's face. Um, I like eating, and
Mhm.
I like dancing,
Mhm.
and they won't let me play on the swings on the tree. But that
Hmm.
would probably be the best part. But I guess food and dancing.
Sounds like fun. And
Mhm.
the rest of the year, when it's not this party, you have a much more structured life, I'm assuming, and you go to school and
I don't like school, but I have to
Mm.
go.
all right, that's good. Learning is important. What sort of things do you learn about in school?
And like you can see just like an exacerbated child being like, so this is what we like
This is what
goes
adults always want to talk about.
they always want to ask me what I'm learning in school and
Boo.
goes into like a very curt like snippets of information like I learned about this and the sun do this and like like just like very this plant I heard about it I don't remember what it does like it's very just like
Mm.
weird snippets.
Riley, do you want to see something cool?
I guess, but that woman's just a bunch of candles. Is it cooler than that? And you watch a woman
Mm.
walk by who's just wearing a chandelier and just
Oh.
walks
I
by.
I think it's cooler than that. And Fenn's gonna open his pocket, and Jenny's gonna fly out. Uh,
Oh.
Huh? Just-
It's a bird.
this is
Uh,
Jenny. Jenny, this is Riley.
Hello,
Um,
Jenny. I'm Riley.
I don't understand what she says either. I assume that she says nice things. She sings pretty.
Mm.
Mm. Hello, Jenny. Do you like cake? Jenny
I
likes
don't.
cake and hates school. Me too,
Mm.
Jenny. And begins having a conversation like that with Jenny. But
I love
meanwhile,
that.
That does sound
uh,
exactly like Jenny.
It does.
that
It's a
that
spitting
sounds like Jenny if
impression.
I've ever heard. Um,
Ah.
Keld and Roshan. Any migrating anywhere else to be after some songs play? People dance around, have good time. You see eventually Clove Kid and Ears leave the space because it seems Clove Kid can't be in the space anymore and has to like walk out of the room.
Space is
This space ruined. So Clove Kid walks out.
that's fair. I feel like the somber music only does so much.
Yeah.
They'll probably want to migrate soon. Well,
Yeah, I think after the next song, um, Roshan will ask Keld, um, did you want to go get that drink I promised you that I like last week and still didn't pay you? Or let's just go get a drink. Is that okay?
sounds good.
uh,
All right.
the two of you go to get your promised drink and you enter in the space walking past a woman dressed as a chandelier and you can see like fully lit candles like this woman is a walking fire hazard just mostly
That's what
based on
this
the
whole party's
size
about.
of the chandelier in like one curtain it's all over too close to
Jeez.
one curtain over um,
Done.
but you both enter the space to go get drinks and you see all of your friends sitting at a table with a 6-year old um an older woman and Jenny is out and you both can see people a murmuring just
Hmm.
from your like outside view just people observing and murmuring.
Hmm.
Can I see if the murmuring is good or bad or
um
anything?
So give me a perception check and then give me an insight check.
Perception is 20, not natural, and
Okay.
insight is that was a 3, so 16.
There you go.
Friggin' bards, man.
The thing is, you know that you're already sitting bottom of the barrel. Like, you guys know that's where you are. But even being in the barrel is a feat in and of itself. You don't think that what is happening currently lands in the good category of the murmuring. It doesn't lean in the bad direction either, but it is sort of presenting like a something that could be stored away in the back of the mind to be like, if you do something good or bad, this is what would be brought up to support it either way. Do you
Mm.
remember when they just ate cake sloppily? Because that's how they're going to remember it. Do you remember when they sloppily ate cake and only talked to the child and there was a bird in a man's shirt? Was that part of the outfit? I don't know. Like, it just, or it'd be like, do you remember those kind individuals that were talking to Riley? How kind of them. Like, it's a definitely like a,
Mm.
this could swing either way depending on what you guys end up doing.
It's like the awkward talking to the head at the
Yeah, you guys are currently talking to like, hey
Mm.
man.
Are we not supposed to do that?
Do what?
What?
Shit.
I'm
Talk
not
to
allowed to talk to
pets at the
sweet animals.
party? I mean,
Oh,
like,
no.
Go to a
unfortunately.
party
cool
again.
fact.
I've been doing parties wrong.
I mean, I feel
Same.
like that's doing them right, but that's me.
This party,
No,
we've
yeah.
all been to this
They
party
feel
now.
different. They feel
But that's
different.
what you're picking up on, Roshan, is it's like kind of like a, this could be used to load either gun, you know, but it
Yeah.
is not, you know.
Not loaded either way yet.
We're gonna need some good press, something good in some way or another to happen to us. But maybe we can cheers to this nightmare that we're in.
Yeah.
And Roshan will head over to the bar. They serve
Yeah.
fancy drinks here.
Oh yeah, you can get a fancy drink.
Any of them crunchy?
Give me something with like the most pretentious sounding name, like with a year in it and some random item that I've never heard of.
Yeah, yeah.
The bartender nods understandingly, and you are presented with a drink that, before given to you, is swirled and handed to you, and you can see like this dark, sort of blue tinted, so it's just like a very deep blue,
Ooh.
and it almost looks like a quickly swirling night sky,
Oh,
and
I love
that is
Mm.
presented to you
Beautiful.
for
edible
drinkies.
glitter. Yum.
Does the
Definitely
bartender have a tip jar?
roll me a luck check.
Oh no.
At this rich ass party, we hope
That's
so.
an 8.
Oh.
You, at least you don't see a tip jar.
Then Roshan will just slide a couple coins across the counter underneath his hand to the bartender.
Hmm.
Roll me a sleight of hand, please.
Get it.
Oh, no.
Get it. Get
We're great
it.
at that.
We.
That's a 8.
Oh, buddy.
Clank,
Oh.
squeeze. Thank you. I appreciate it. And that kind of like awkwardly tries to assist you in this endeavor to like keep the
Oh,
coins
no.
hidden.
Oh, no.
They're gonna roll. They're gonna get a.
Come on.
They're a fancy bartender. I'll give them a
Yeah.
+4.
They got fast hands. They got to be able to shake all them drinks.
All right. They rolled very well.
Thank God.
So once it's almost like the coins have disappeared. Maybe your rings just clacked against the counter. We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speculation.
We're just holding hands across the bar. Who knows?
Who
Me and this bartender are
knows?
just having a meet cute. Get over it.
Oh, yeah.
And then Roshan will turn to Keld with the drink and say, cheers.
There you go.
Cheers.
Keld, your drink is sort of this like kind of in a pale brown category, but it looks like somebody actively like muddled as many herbs as they could into this as possible. Like it is like a pile of leaves in a drink. That kind of look like they're just like like how the stars are spinning, these leaves are falling from the sky. That
So
kind of
like
thing.
leaves in a
Ooh.
Yeah,
wind.
a little one of those little tornadoes.
Hey, there you go.
Um,
Like a swirled mint julep.
these drinks, they're pretty good.
Mm.
People eating the food is very good. Um,
Mm.
but eventually Riley has finished like a third of her plate and
Uh-huh.
like has already begun the process of getting herself out of the chair.
Uh-huh.
I'm going. And the
Oh.
woman stands up. Well, we're going. Say thank you, Riley. Thank you. And she gives like a big curtsy.
Nana will
And
kind of rise and give a curtsy bow of her own. It's been wonderful to speak with you, Riley.
Nice to make your acquaintance, Riley.
nice. And does like another bow. And
Cute.
this woman like takes Riley's hand and you can see like immediately like vice grips it. Like, we're gonna
Uh-huh.
walk at my pace, Riley.
Come
And
on.
the two of them make their way out and you can see sort of make a turn and look like they're going towards the dancing area. Which the
Hopefully
music from there
Riley's
still
like,
sounds not insane. So that's where we are
that's
currently with
good.
that.
Hopefully Riley's a
Um,
little like weighed down with food, so she won't be as
yeah,
sprightly.
yeah.
It was all sugar, so probably not.
Oh no. Well, she'll crash real hard later.
But at this point, everybody's at least in the same room together. Is there
Wow.
anything you guys
Hooray!
wanted to do while coexisting in the space?
I need to let everybody know that I'm gonna have to duel somebody. According to Tan, her reputation's in the toilet, so is mine.
Hmm.
You know, I'm glad that I didn't have to fight Thor, but I'm gonna have to fight somebody, and that somebody needs to not be a pushover, but preferably also be, you know, a reasonable challenge. Like, you know, one of the guys like I fought at the practice grounds, Fen.
You know who we saw wandering around here and actually insulted Roshan? It's
Mm.
Cove Kid.
The Eye of the Chief.
The the guard. Yes, the yeah, the town's guard that anyhow she told Roshan that she was very rude. They were very rude to Roshan, and that might be a good person to fight. Just saying.
I don't want to make any more enemy out of them than they already are.
They were not happy to.
They
Oh dear.
they'd be happier being our ally, so maybe not them. I don't know.
All right.
Does losing confer any kind of benefits if you challenge someone like unkillable? And then Roshan will flash his eyes toward Russ.
Generally speaking, my understanding is if you lose standing.
Well,
Maybe Russ could make some suggestions.
that's
I mean, he has
yeah,
been here a lot.
yes, but yes,
Would
I
ya?
did like
Sorry. Go ahead, Russ.
but
If we're gonna fight someone, it should be somebody that's either benefits us or is a real piece of shit. And
Be
if
nice.
this
It's
place
getting
should
harder and harder to tell those things apart.
Yeah,
well,
right?
this place seems like it's full of real pieces of shit. We should not have this much trouble.
I mean, the thing is,
Please say that out loud.
Also true. Don't.
I thought we were huddled. Like I thought this was a
I
huddle.
mean,
There's so many
Have
well,
we
people
huddle?
around.
You
we
guys are
can't.
huddling? I'll make a note.
Oh
I'm
no, no,
not
no.
huddling. Just like
No, no.
backing up a little bit.
I was not inferring a huddle myself, but we're in a group. I believe that it would be best to find someone who could be a reasonable challenge. Russ, you've been to an awful lot of these parties. Could you recommend someone who might be a worthy challenger for such an occasion? Someone looking to gain a little standing and not look like they're being unfair.
So looks at Nyx. I always asked a lot of questions. I'm gonna do my best.
Sorry,
All
sorry.
in a row.
It was in a row, and then like I tried to, and then it was like, no, Russ, you have to remember all of them. And I'm like, oh no.
I'm sorry, Russ. Take
No,
your
it's
time.
fine. And he looks at his hand. I'm so sorry, Nyx, and like looks and sees he has a drink in his hand, and he's never forgetting. Uh,
Where did it come from?
I'm sorry. I promised I was gonna do snuff with you, and that I wasn't going to drink.
That's
I don't. Where did it? I don't remember. And like sets
Oh,
it
no.
down.
Nana will get him some water.
You're the
So-
one he needs to talk to.
All right, goodbye.
Well, she'll be gone and back.
Fan will go grab drinks. He's gonna get himself a roiling whiskey, and he's gonna try and guess at what everybody else might want.
A weird cacophony of different drinks comes to the table for funsies.
Awesome. What does
So
Fen think each of us wants?
I've got the tea tornado.
sorry, I got a
Ooh.
tea tornado over here. So you're not entirely right about losing always equals like negative status.
Okay.
So, like that guy out there,
Mhm.
they fight every year, one of them loses, and yet they remain still in the same spot status wise. It's because people are entertained by it. If you are able to put on a phenomenal show, and then you are the hero that is bested in combat, an inch from victory, sometimes, and this is sometimes, that can be seen as something status worthy, or at least something to start getting people to talk about you, which gives you a chance to start influencing your status more. But most of the time, like the axe, his status was not positively affected by what went on. But also, I don't think he had an incredibly high status to begin with. There wasn't a lot for him to lose. The thing is, with all of you, you probably don't have a lot to lose because you probably won't be back next year. But if you're trying to get in this moment people to pay attention to you, you know, you got to at least come out of this with probably a step in the positive. But winning certainly helps, especially if you don't punch down. See, Nana, the thing is, I haven't really seen you fight. I was inside of a worm at the time.
Aw, keep meaning to like
So,
do a little bit of sparring with
like,
you,
I
and
have a
as it
guess.
happened. Right.
Listen, if we have time tomorrow, maybe we could go about that just so I can at least see how, like, where your strengths are, and then
Right.
maybe I can recommend somebody. But
Yeah.
the people here who come here to fight, that's what they do. They are here specifically for that and are chomping at the bit for it, which makes it easy to fight somebody, but also the odds may or may not be in your favor depending.
Right.
And
Okay.
I think if you fought me, it would be when you lose,
Right.
it would be a negative hit to your status.
Yeah. Honestly, you're my friend Nyx's husband. I'm not chomping at the bit to fight you.
The thing
Just
is,
putting
it's
that
like
out
you
there.
have to find somebody like a story, you know? Like you could paint a picture and be like, see how this person is look at them with their shield, and I hate shields, you know? Like you have to
Ooh.
you got to find your story.
Huh. See, the thing is, I did.
or you have to beat the
Oh,
shit out of somebody. Those
yeah,
are the two
yeah.
options.
Right, right. I mean, the only thing that comes to mind about a story-driven fight is to do with a
Oh, you can
fellow
make
that.
shit up.
Oh,
You can make up a
oh,
story. Nobody knows you.
it's true.
So you can just, get your creative writing on and be like, that person over there, boy howdy, you know what they did? Something that pissed me off, and I'm the hero.
Eh.
So,
And if I win, then my story wins.
yes. And if your story's good enough, you can lose. But that is a much
Mm-hmm.
smaller percentage.
Right.
But still doable.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I've got till tomorrow to really settle on someone. Tan recommended that we do some scouting today, tonight, and choose someone either end of night tonight or sometime tomorrow. So
The thing
I've
is,
got
the
time.
higher up you punch, the thing is, if you think you can take someone,
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be much better for your status than somebody who is like at level with you.
Right.
Everything's positive. But, if you go over and you fight, one of the scariest people in the room, knock them out. Uh, that's status, baby. I'm
Yeah.
perpetually stuck in like a position where my status is like sort of unaffected. I don't know what happens if I lose because I don't have that scenario. But
Yeah.
but I have not gone up. I have not gone down. I just kind of float in the middle. I sort of think I'm more like one of the art pieces here, and I've come to terms with that.
Like the fighting couple, someone who winds up being entertaining
Mm.
year after year.
I'm definitely entertainment. That's why I get the ticket.
Mm.
Not because I have any sway or power. It's
Mm-hmm.
because I'm interesting.
And that is one of the trifecta of the people who come to the party, the interesting folk.
So
So I've just got to be
that's all I
interesting.
got. Gotta be
Well, I
interesting.
appreciate it. I do appreciate it, Russ, really. Well, I suppose if any of you are struck by someone who seems imposing and maybe could do with a fat lip, I'd be glad to take that under consideration.
Why I oughta.
Yeah!
Ooh,
I'll engage in fisticuffs!
you looking for a knuckle sandwich?
Uh, I hope they don't ask for one because I'm much better with a sword than I am with my fists, but that's
Please
alright.
don't make me balk.
Steel.
Don't make me.
Right, I'll keep an eye out. But tomorrow we can certainly at least go over what you have going on, so I can like pick it up, put it in my mind, and then I can start looking.
That'd be excellent. Thank you, Russ.
Hmm. He picks up his drink and then he like puts it back down. Like
Yep.
he's done this a couple times. Where he picks up and then
Oh
puts it back
no.
down because now he's aware of it. And he's like,
Has Fen brought him some water?
drinks water, a tear in his eye.
It's here. Is there some
Mm.
juice? Is there a lemon slice we can put in there for him?
Some
Yeah,
lemon
there's probably
water.
Some
just
lemon water.
Lemon water. Awesome.
Yeah.
Mm.
Tangy.
Next, did you want to dance after this?
Sure. We got all the
Sounds good
food.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the. She's just gonna hand him this drink that he keeps drinking.
Aw.
You can have it.
I
Aw.
don't know.
Aww.
It's fine.
Oh.
All right. I'm going to finish this drink because I feel like it's causing a lot of discourse. So I'm just going to finish this drink. That's the drink.
That's the one.
It's the drink.
Yep. No, that's the drink.
And
And we'll be your
and
friends and
then-
we'll hold you to that.
And then, Nix, after we dance, you have to remind me about looking for juice because there's a very particular place where you can get what you're looking for.
Ooh.
Okay. Sure.
Excellent.
Great. I'll do my best.
Hey, Nana, you should just fight that guy from earlier. The one with the broken helmet. Because we already know about him.
The thing about Torment is
But
I can only say so much about what I've heard about him
but
in a public setting where it might get back to him.
but Nana, if you fight him and win, maybe you could get him to go on a date or whatever with Cal and Dula, and then we'll get information. We gotta get them together somehow, and if you win the fight, maybe that could be part of the deal.
Could be the
You see?
This is one of my favorite things that's
Hmm.
ever happened at this party.
I
could be
will
the grounds
take
for
that
your
under consideration.
Do we want to make an enemy of somebody that might very well be our best ally against a couple of ghosts that happen to run a very important
I
town
don't know what
on
you're
our
talking
continent?
about. We have to get information from him somehow, though, and this is the best way. Either that, or we have to talk to him and convince him.
Uh, I
I'll let you think on that.
I'm going to think on that. I'm also going to see about whether or not there's anybody else at this party that seems like a better fit for fighting, and if not, then that's maybe where that's going to land. And
Well, I'm not
maybe
allowed to fight, so it's up to you.
you can't fight in this beautiful outfit. It would get very, very ruined.
That's fine. They clean it up. That's not a problem.
That's true. They do clean it right up, but it would still be a bit of a hassle.
I mean,
Those shoes
honestly,
might get in the way.
Nix, you can give me, a big old fuck you on this one, but it would certainly make my life easier if you were not in a duel.
I'd rather not. I'm
Mhm.
not supposed to do stressful stuff because of this thing. So
and
Okay.
I
Yes.
would feel very obligated to step in, and I've
Mhm.
never stepped in for somebody at one of these parties besides my boss. So that's
It would
uncharted
cause
territory.
waves.
It would do
It
something.
it would raise some
But there's no
eyebrows.
reason for either of us. Well, there's reason for me to fight people. That's dumb.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to fight anybody. You're golden.
Oh,
But
you're
if she
golden,
wants,
Russ.
but if she wants to fight someone, she's very capable.
Oh, I
true.
certainly would not stop her. I'm just saying I would be in a bit of a pickle, at least emotionally. Emotional pickle.
We need not burden Russ with emotional pickles.
I appreciate it.
Pickles are delicious. I don't know why that's a bad thing. Like sour
Colloquial
and
are
salty and
Have you ever
anyhow,
had a
no.
half sour pickle? They had them last year, but I didn't see them on the table. And
I
Russ
haven't had
tossed
anything
out
to
the
eat
pickle.
here, and I'm gonna go get something to eat while we're here, and Fenn's gonna go fix
Deuce!
himself a plate.
He's been drinking this whole time. He needs to.
Fenn's had
Well.
one whiskey,
Okay. Just
Yeah.
the one then.
just
But
the one.
still,
It's still
drinking on
working
an
out.
empty stomach is not
What
good.
are we up to? Are we still talking, or are people going to new venues and ventures?
Would anyone care to help me look around and see what we've got, or should we sort of go our separate ways, not be seen crowding up too much?
I think I'm going to head off and see if anyone wants to gossip. And Roshan will lift his drink and then say, "Best of luck," and then turn around and walk away.
Thanks.
And a flourish of fringe is gone.
worship.
Anybody else? Rashawn went off to adventure.
we're going to the dancing room.
I'm gonna warn Nix about the.
So you kind of like lean over to Nix and describe the situation that you encountered.
Oh no! Nick's disappeared from me.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Just a ghost, I guess.
I guess.
So, you saw her there?
Yeah, I saw her fountain. And nobody there. Water on the. Maybe that came from the fountain. But there was somebody there.
I'll keep an eye out when we're in there.
Not for nothing. When we were still across the hammer, Gorbjorn encountered some sort of spirit that most of us couldn't see. He'd some sort. He had an item at the time that allowed him to perceive things that couldn't normally be seen, so he was able to see her. But effectively, she was invisible to all the rest of us. Could have been
have-
something like that, but well, you do see things differently than most of us, from what I've noticed, Keld. So, hard to say. If you see something like it again, let one of us know.
Do you want to come with just in case? So you can point her out if she is there?
Not a bad idea.
I was gonna say that naked with black hair covering your boobies would be out of place at this party, but it really isn't.
No, it
It's
wouldn't.
not.
Not at all.
there
Not
might
in the
at least
least
be one
bit.
person here with that
Uh,
outfit.
Got to be.
Roshan, on that note, as you walk by, you do see a woman walk by who is only wearing like mud, like seems to be wearing clay just strategically
Huh.
placed across her
Huh.
body as she walks by.
Like
So,
pasties.
like
trying
paste,
to avoid the predator.
more like that. It's kind of like somebody like dive bombed into some wet clay, and that is the outfit. Nothing else, only clay.
Hope the clay stays moist and doesn't fall off.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Magic or otherwise. But who is now heading towards the dancing?
Us.
Okay.
Third wheel.
Third wheel.
It's fine.
All right. The three of you head off. What about Nana and Fen?
So I need a determination. How is the food here compared
It is
to
the best
Keld's?
food you've ever had.
It's better than
Keld's food
Keld's food.
it is different. Keld's food is homey.
Mine's
There
home
is a
cooked.
warmth to it. This food pushes the boundary of taste and flavor and is up on a different level. They are different things. Both at the peak, both incredibly different.
They are the peak of what they do, but they do
All right,
different things.
Ben's gonna enjoy a little bit of luxury and watch the people that are in this room while he takes advantage of eating meat that he didn't cook himself over a fire, that he didn't himself have to field dress and clean. This has been a rare thing in the past several months of Fenn's life, and he's going to enjoy some good food while he watches people and tries to get a read on them in whatever way that Fenn's not social brain can do.
Why is your head wet? What did you do?
Oh
Okay.
no.
Sorry.
Which cat is this?
This is Arthur. His whole face is just wet.
I feel like he must have just whoosh into the water dish.
I don't know what to tell you.
You might.
Oh well.
Boy loves a sink, so who knows? But
Okay.
so Nana, where are you going? What are you doing?
I'm gonna hang out with Fen for a little while and eat and kind of look around for additional
Looking for
folks.
people to beat the shit out of.
Potentially, yes.
Okay. The two of you eat some of the most amazing food, and the thing is, like, there are some things you pick up, and it's like this leaf. They just put this leaf on here, and then they put some like it looks like ashes on it. It tastes terrible, but it tastes like the air during like a forest fire. Like it's just like an
It's an
experience.
experience.
Yeah.
Oh.
There are some things here that are experiences and not
Okay.
actually tasty and delicious. But mostly tasty and delicious.
So to be clear, Fenn's
Got
not
it.
fixing himself a plate. Fenn's doing that thing where he's like picking up a thing here and sampling it, but like doing it way too often. Like he may as well just make himself a plate. Like
I'll
he's
make a
just
note.
lapping.
Oh,
Like
Nana will kind of like give him a little tap on the elbow and sort of like murmur to him, "That's the sort of thing that Ave told me very much not to do when I was a child and was at very large gatherings. Let me make you a plate, and you finish the plate, and then you come back for more. Okay?"
all right, but I can see more people if I do this, and we can
I
determine which one
understand.
of them you need to kick the shit out of.
Also true, however, we also need to look like we know that we're in a very large social gathering where that sort of thing is not as well looked upon.
All right, I will trust your experience in this realm.
I mean, I
Have you
won't say it's a lot, but
Have you tried the forest fire leaves?
As you point out the forest fire leaves, Roshan, you have made your exit and are walking across the grounds. And the first thing that catches your attention is a smell. Not like a outside, not a good or bad smell, but a very pungent one. And you hear the like gentle kinds of sounds of like an animal, like a large animal shuffling around. And as you follow your ears and your nose, you see standing over in one of the grassy areas by a tree is a cow whose udders have been painted for the occasion. From their horns, they are wearing little blue ribbons that kind of look like icicles. And sitting against the tree on the grass, smoking, wearing a poncho depicting a cow licking at a man frozen in ice. You're looking at Ellie and Athumbla.
Throwback.
Roshan will wave over someone with drinks, and head over um, to Ellie and say, "Well, good evening. It's a pleasure seeing you here."
Oh, look at you, fucker! You're all dressed up, and she takes like a solid hit and then pulls herself upward. Can I get in that fringe or?
Yeah, Roshan will part it and then give her a peck on each cheek.
She goes in and does like a solid, like also like one arm hug, keeping the blunt fully out of range of your fringe. Shit, look at us fancy motherfuckers. Do you want? And she like holds it out.
I I should abstain, but thank you.
I don't know how anybody's raw dogging this fucking party, so good on you.
I finished a drink a little earlier, and
Mm.
that's doing something. So how does just a kind wandering woman with no seedy dealings end up at a party like this?
Oh, it's probably because of all my seedy dealings, and just like a big smile on her face.
Well, um, I hope we helped with at least one of them.
You certainly did. I was smuggling a bunch of shit inside of that statue.
I don't know why I didn't see your criminal genius earlier. It's probably because you're a criminal genius.
Well, I'm certainly a genius. That is very apparent. But there shouldn't be anything illegal about transporting hollow statues anywhere.
You know, I tend to agree. And how is Athumbla?
Oh, you know. Look at him. It's just this vacant stare of a cow staring forward.
Uh,
Hmm.
Does she drink any spirits? Any champagne?
Honestly, I've never seen a Thumbla say no to jack or shit. So, either or, offer a drink.
Roshan will offer Thumbla the cow a glass of champagne and will offer it to the cow, and if the cow like seems okay with it, we'll like pour it out in his hand so that the cow can lap it up.
Roll animal handling to feed champagne to a cow, please.
Hell yeah. That's going to be a 21.
You are currently actively feeding champagne to a cow from your palm, um, while Ellie kind of like smokes and looks around. Are the rest of you fuckers running around somewhere?
Um, Now, did Ellie ever meet?
No.
No. Okay. Um, Nana and Fen are here, along
Mm,
with a couple other friends.
good on you getting into quite the shindig.
That was. We went into the Forest of Idun last week, and getting
Mm.
invitations to this event was harder than that. So,
Oh. And how is the Lady of the Wood? Dead?
well, we didn't meet her,
Mm.
but we did find a moth that was my size. Uh,
Ooh.
a a spider made out of precious gems, a snake
Mm.
that didn't have any organs or skin.
Oh. I've heard those are
Um,
good luck.
uh, Same, and it's been nothing but good luck. See, we're here together. Good luck.
The luck just flowing. It takes like a hard hit. You know, just all of the shit going on. Terrible for trade. It's useful for, seedy trade, but still nonetheless dangerous. You have to, pay like I have two archers that I have to employ.
Well, if we're ever heading in the same direction, I hope you would feel welcome in our company.
Certainly, you fuckers are a blast.
Is there anywhere that I could escort you or Thumbla?
Mm. Have you been to the lounge yet?
I haven't. That he hasn't, right?
No, you haven't been to the
Okay.
lounge yet.
Uh, I haven't. I'd love a partner to scope it out with.
Of course. She kind of like leans in. Are you avoiding getting fucked up? Or like, are you trying to keep your senses about you? Or are you partying? I just need to know before I go in there and go like buck wild.
I When I get fucked up, I don't tend to stop, so
Hmm.
I'm avoiding it, but you go as wild as you want. I'm used to watching others get wild.
All right. Um, I knew people with that quirk. And good on you.
Thank you. And then Roshan will hold out an arm outside of the fringe that she may grab.
She takes your arm. Ahumla, bitch, you know what to do. And walks with you. And Athumbla stands there, eyes distant, and just sort of like leans down and begins to eat grass that now probably has a tinge of champagne upon it
Mm.
from the spilled glass. But the two of you make your way to the lounge, which is uh, you can already smell different types of kind of smokier scents coming from this room, and you also smell something that kind of smells like very sweet. There's also like a very sweet smell in the air. You aren't sure if any of these smells are related to each other, if it's like the same thing, or if it's like multiple different things happening at the same time. But you and Ellie make your way over there, while Russ, um, Nyx, and Keld make their way back to the dancing area. Um, at this point, the thing is, all of these buildings, besides like the main building that you are not interacting with at all, that is off limits. But there's like no door. There are like, it's a fully open space exposed to the elements. You could sit inside and look outwards and see everything that's like going on, at least from your vantage point. So like you and Fen would be able to see uh your friends from a good distance. Could you see if they walk up to somebody or talking to somebody? You could if you're able to catch them in the crowd, but you might not be able to make out that person's like facial features unless they're wearing like a big boisterous outfit. Um, but you're kind of like scoping out the area. You're sitting in a good spot where you can also watch people who are walking down the path. So you're in a good place of being able to keep an eye on people, Nana. And all of you are now currently in a space where you can see the outside. And as you scan Nana, you're like, well, I'm trying to find anybody else. You see Torment, who just
Yep.
seems to be walking. Um,
Okay.
is not stopping and interacting with anybody, is just walking, holding his helmet under his arm, and he continues to walk the perimeter. Um,
Does he seem like he's just doing a circuit?
to you, it seems that way.
Okay. I haven't been
Uh,
following him, so obviously
yeah,
I wouldn't know where else he's been, but it
yeah,
kind of gives the vibe.
yeah. There's not a look of him actively seeking anything out.
He doesn't look like he's like, I'm going this
No,
way. It's just
actually, it
wandering.
is, I'm going this way. And that is
It
the
is.
extent of it.
And that is it. Okay.
Yeah, there
Hmm.
is no like end goal. It is like, I'm going this way.
Okay.
And he's
Mm.
going that way.
Kind of
And
feels like he's just waiting to be challenged, is what I feel. That seems to be like, but maybe I'm wrong.
you watch and you're like, do you want me to fight you? As you like glare at him, like not glare at him, but you like watch him
No, it's
walk.
like just watching.
Do you want to
Mm,
fight? What's up, dude?
do
Um,
you want a fight? Is that what you're
and
here for?
from all of your perspectives, you can still see the dueling grounds and the woman pacing along the circle. Nana, Keld, Nyx, what are your passive insights?
17.
20.
All of you notice a falter in the widow's step as she, for the first time that you've seen, falters in step and continues the circle. And almost like a moon orbiting a planet, she will be at the edge closest to the pathway next to the dueling grounds as Torment is making his way past there. They meet in this space, him staring forward, walking, her staring forward, walking. And that drops. Her head snaps to the side, and you watch as she reaches up under her skirt and grabs a knife that has been tied to her leg and stabs him under the armor.
Oh,
And he stops.
shit!
And she pulls back as he looks down towards her, and she stabs him a second time. As she goes in for the third stab, he does grab her by the wrist and just holds it there. Does not retaliate, does not go to move her away or call for assistance. He just holds her by the wrist as she begins to scream and wail as she tries to get the knife back against his skin. But he's much stronger than she is. And you see people that you hadn't seen before. Armored individuals who pop into existence. You can only assume obscured by invisibility or something. How many of those people are around this place, you are unsure. But all of you, from your different vantage points, can hear this screaming and can be drawn to see what is happening as he holds her wrist and they hold eye contact as she screams at him, tears falling from her face. You killed him. You killed him. And you took him from me as these armed figures like disarm her, one of them taking the weapon, and she is being escorted off premises as Torment stands there, like staring forwards, almost like a man who was not stabbed twice.
She's a real widow. Genuine article.
And after a moment, people murmuring, Torment sort of touches the space where he was stabbed and continues on his circuit. Continues walking down the path as he had before, as the wails of this woman become quieter and quieter as she is escorted off premises for attacking somebody outside of the dueling circle as she took a step outwards to engage. But people lock this away and keep it for later. And now nobody circles the dueling ground. As Ellie looks over. Fuck. She says as she finishes the last of her blunt before flicking it away. This fucking party.
Do you know of Torment?
She did come from the West.
I know that he was a warrior, fighter, worked with Herserson, so you're going to get a bit of a nasty character there, but there's really not room for niceties in his position. So kudos to Hemming's son for nipping that shit in the bud.
Well, it seemed plenty nice of him to not, I don't know, grab her whole head with one of his giant hands and just squeeze till she
Like
stopped.
grape, just
Like a grape,
like
exactly.
I've seen it before, actually. Just somebody just like head grape. Not here. It wasn't here. Don't calm
Don't
down.
get
It
twisted.
wasn't here. It could be if I can get my hands on someone. And
I believe
she
it.
makes her way inside with you into this.
I've only seen one person here that might be small enough. Maybe we could find her sometime and I can introduce you.
Oh, I
Are we
usually
talking about
fight.
the goblin?
I like a big motherfucker. Like, what's the
But-
point of fighting if you aren't going to, square
Well,
up?
I thought you just wanted someone whose head could fit in your palm, but
Oh, if I have to use two hands, I can use two hands.
I
She's
shouldn't
an
have
equal
assumed.
opportunity squisher.
Listen, I don't lose fisticuffs. I can't think of the last wrestling match I fucking lost. Come at me, motherfuckers, she says loudly as she enters
Wow.
the space.
Amazing! Love
I think
Ellie.
Roshan just stands tall and proud that he's with her right now, and hope that doesn't bite him later.
You stand like this is good and normal and also my energy as you walk in with her. Um, Meanwhile, Team, Keld, Russ, and Nyx also witness that event from their outside, actually closer position. And Russ is like, that's never happened before.
Great.
Usually, this is just speculation, but usually the art, the widow, um, they are given quite the sum of money to be here. And in and of itself, how can you say no to life changing money when you have nothing? But some people, I guess, have other reason to be here.
Yeah.
It feels weird to go dance now, but we're going to try and figure that out. Also, that's the room where you saw like a ghost or something. I was trying not to like be in your conversation.
So,
Perfect.
seems
Honestly, yeah, some of the people here are kind of spooky though. So it's like, actually, there is a ghost. There's a ghost who comes to this party. Uh, he's a dude. He wears a little hat so it covers up whatever's happened over here. But yeah, there's a ghost. Was it
Huh.
that?
No.
Oh,
It was a lady, he said.
could be us another ghost.
so the mission.
Uh, a lot of the things here are worthy of concern and they won't receive it. Would you prefer to go to the lounge and get something first?
That, that might be
All right.
best. After that, yeah. Yeah.
All right. And you guys turn and begin making your way that way. Nana and Fen, you saw this from your position inside of the eating area. And anything from you guys as the sounds fade back into that of murmurs of the party and Torment unhealed, just continuing his path.
What were the circumstances of that woman's widowing?
Would have been the war that Ave ended. Would have been the war that Herseson was a part of, and so were Torment and Gaza.
Well, my thoughts are if it happened on the battlefield, then there were combatants and each was an equal party, or if it happened here in this circle, then there were equal parties, but terrible things happen in war, or at least Ave said they did. And
According to Ave, especially anything that Torment was a part of. Especially. Why do you think I'm hesitant?
hesitant to fight him. Seems like the best person to fight if he's truly responsible for things that are said of him.
What place have I to correct him on that, for one thing? For another thing, if I stand to win, what grudge might he then carry against Galunda, Erling, Hertha, my mother?
Well, I mean, things seem to be going swimmingly back in the West.
For
Just
now.
don't let him back across the bridge.
We'll see. We'll see. That's part of the reason why I hesitate as myself, since I've not been introducing myself under any other name but my own, to engage in a fight with him.
Or if he's here in exile, or he's here strictly to find harm to do to others, then we leave him in the dirt here. If he's the sort of person that goes around hurting people. And then we
I don't
needn't
know.
worry if he returns to the West. Not encouraging murder, except for those that deserve it. And Obviously, anyone that harbors that sort of resentment, they would endanger their own life in order to try to find some retribution, must have must have some motivation to do so. You've not said anything good about that man.
I've heard nothing good about that man. I've never met him, but not a single story I've ever heard of him was happy.
I initially thought he might be useful in that he served Strakersusen, and Strakersusen has been usurped by those that are not
Others?
exactly friendly to us.
Hmm.
But if he's as terrible as all has indicated, then seems that's as good a person to challenge as anyone else. Do you think you're up to it? If not, is it better off that one or the other of any of us do it?
It's something I'll have to think on. I don't know. I
This
might
is a
be
thing
able
the
to make him,
West.
but
This is a thing the West has created.
hmm,
We're here trying to right our wrongs, no? And this is a thing that came from the West
hmm.
that comes here and
Then
does
your
harm.
attention is caught by something red. Red catches out of the corner of your eye, and you see Corrine walking into the space.
We can discuss this later. Excuse me for a moment.
Oh,
And then gets up and goes and greets Corinne.
Um, she smiles like a little bit of a somber smile. Um, Fen, would you mind dancing with me?
I'm not the most practiced dancer, but I will do my best. Um, got some traditional elven dances in my village that I'm not sure translate across the hammer. Um, and
Well,
also,
we'll start
are
slow.
they are they made an effort to try to put some culture in me of more generalized practices? But I'd be happy to.
I
Just don't be
appreciate it.
disappointed in me.
I don't think you could disappoint me. And she smiles, the smile kind of turning up now, and she looks over to Nana. Nana, you look amazing. I love your outfit.
thank you
Doesn't
very
she
much,
though?
Corinne.
It
You're very,
is
very kind.
truly a it is a piece, and you are pulling it off quite expertly. Are you enjoying the party?
It is unlike anything I have ever attended. I'm awash with new experiences. The food alone is incredible.
I appreciate the compliments. Nana, I would love you to roll me a deception check to remain super chill, like to
Hmm?
not think anything is up, because all of
Hmm?
you seem to be a little sus about Corrine.
Hmm?
That's a thing you're going to try to bury right now.
Hmm.
She's going to roll insight. Maybe she doesn't need to, but she's going to roll insight.
She doesn't need to. I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, hey Nana, could
Fuck
you
me!
could you tell us your tell?
Nana's tell is
Yeah.
probably I believe her heel is bouncing a little bit. She's a little
Mm,
on edge. I mean, yes, she's openly said this is unlike anything she's seen, but no, she's got one heel sort of like bouncing a little bit, and she's smiling. She's being polite, but she seems distracted.
okay. Um, she holds your eye contact, and then she glances down at your heel and then back up to your eyes just a split second. And she smiles. I understand. New experiences. The second night hopefully goes a bit smoother.
Yeah.
Alas, um, enjoy, have a drink. Glad you got yourself out of the though it would have been an altercation to behold. That apology was something great in and of itself. And she gives you a little bit of a curtsy, like just the tiniest little, like, I don't have a lot of dress to pull out.
Right. I mean, obviously, Nana doesn't either, but she will rise and she will give a bow of her own for Kareen as well.
All right. And she, like, still while looking at you, extends her arm out for Fen to take so that they may walk together.
Yeah, Fen will do the thing where he extends his arm so it looks like he's leading her, but in fact,
Hmm.
he has no idea where they're going. I mean, he knows where the room with the dancing is, but like also
Hmm.
she's under the base that this place. This is her party.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes one last look back at you, Nana, and gives you a smile as Fen and Corrine make their way towards the room to dance. And
I'd just really love to insight their interaction and how that seems to play, like, dynamic wise between them.
roll insight.
Well, it's a 16.
Corrine is a host.
Mhm.
She presents as somebody who is you when you're in her position, you smile, you're polite, you walk around, you have drinks, and that is what you can pick up from her. Is somebody who is, I am in my hosting position now. That's all you get from her. What
Mhm.
you get from Fen is a person that genuinely likes Corrine, somebody who cares about Corrine and seems interested in her happiness and jumped at the chance to do something for her.
All right. Nana,
And
I
mhm.
think we'll probably go and find the lounge. Maybe she heard there was maybe some stuff over there.
You told me there's stuff in the lounge, and you go to join Roshan and Ellie. You can see Athumbla as you approach, who is just like now scratching the side of their body against this tree, and like
Uh huh.
ribbons are falling out of
Uh huh.
their horns.
Uh huh.
But you begin to make your way that way as actually everybody's going that way now except for Fen,
Oh.
because everyone's like, we can't dance after that. And as all of you go to your new positions, that is where we are going to stop for today. Thank you
Oh.
all for being here. We really appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. Here at the Dice Cult, if you want to be like, hey, what happened? What going on? Who this? What that? You can head over to youtube.com/the Dice Cult and watch past episodes of On the Backs of Gods, other D&D games, one-shots, Vampire the Masquerade, whatever you're vibing. If you want to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. If you'd like to keep up with all of us, we are at the Dice Cult on Instagram and Twitter. If you would like some beautiful dice, there's a link in chat to go to Katie's store. These dice roll good, look pretty. I think that's the dream. Um, what more do you need? Good looking, lucky, perfect.
We won't talk about
But
the nat one that this one just rolled. It was a fluke.
no.
It was a
See,
fluke.
it's
It happens from time to
theatrical.
time.
The dice understand
Yes.
story, and that's
Very
all that matters.
Exactly.
dramatic. That's what matters.
Dice get
Mmm.
story, and those
Mwah.
are the dice you want. Um,
That's
so
the facts.
we will be here same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week is going to be a little bit different. We're going to give you a bit of a peek into the past of this party. And thank you again. We appreciate it. Love telling you a story, and we will see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.